So the question becomes, why are we here today? And the previous speakers have touched on those points. We, the December 12th movement, come out of the Black liberation struggle. We understand the importance of the connections that Malcolm X talked about around that there's no inseparable wall between the U.S. domestic policy and its foreign policy. We understand that the victory of the Vietnamese was also tied to the domestic insurrection in the United States. That if we want to stop the U.S. in Venezuela, we have to be active here. We have to understand that we know it's not about drugs, but we know it's about the oil. We know it's about the oil because he said it. It's about the oil. It's also, in a kind of devious way, about his domestic attempt to destroy democracy, quote unquote democracy. To the extent that there's been any pushback in the courts against him snatching people up in the streets, it has been around him saying, well, there's a national security emergency, there's a war going on, and I have the right to do anything I want to do. So the courts haven't bent down and given up on that. So if he can provoke, that's what he's been trying to do, to provoke a military response from Venezuela. If he can declare that there's now military action on both sides, he can say, well, we're in war. The War Powers Act is now in effect. I can do anything I want to do. So he's going to, it has a double-edged sword. It gives him an entree to the world's largest oil reserves. It gives him an entree in terms of how he can legally institute fascism here. And you can see the same thing with the threat on Nigeria. Like he's concerned about Christians being in Nigeria. What he's concerned about is the oil. So we have to understand that. And when we understand that, then we can organize our communities to protest it, to do whatever, to create whatever pressure is necessary to force him to back off. In the particular of the Black community, we remember the subsidized oil that Venezuela provided for our communities back when the United States wasn't doing anything about it. We remember Venezuela's offer when Katrina happened to provide support. We remember 7 years ago, we were in Venezuela. They had a national conference on reparations. Now we know that the government of Chavez and the government of Maduro had nothing to do with the enslavement of African people, had nothing to do with the continued oppression of Black people. But they held a national conference on reparations. People came from around the world. They've taken the steps that the United States doesn't even want to acknowledge. So we understand the friendship that Venezuela presents to us. We understand the importance of international solidarity, and that our responsibility here is now to take that to the communities. It's not enough for us to stand here and understand that. We have to take it out to the communities we represent and organize them. As Kwame Ture said, we have to organize, organize, organize. U.S. out of Venezuela. U.S. out of Venezuela. U.S. out of Venezuela. When? Now. When? Now. When? Now. Straight ahead. Thank you.